Welcome to the bottom line discussion tonight. With me in the house is Limfa Akogwe and Francie Mesa in Sweden. Jamal Kamara will be joining us shortly, and the great Maurice Dodime John. Gentlemen, good evening.
Good evening, buddy.
Yeah. Limfa, how is the great? Is that a kingdom or it's just a cold Norway? How is it? What is it called?
Yeah, that's the the royal. At that great and our king is much older now, so we respect him, and we don't know, but one day we'll have a new king. Like those of you that live in the UK, you knew what happened with the late Queen and King Charles, your friend. Every time King Charles will feel that, okay, I'm very close to the throne, but then they only will bounce back again and be walking all around the place. So we have similar situation. Our old man is getting older, so the son now has been practicing, and I think he's well groomed. So, but the kingdom is okay, and everything is okay. We're having, for some strange reason, the sun has really been shining the whole week. But then it's cold, very, very cold. Imagine the sun shining, then it's -2, -3, from where I am. So it's kind of strange, but everything is okay.
Wow, everything is okay. So it's kind of interesting that everything. But Francie, you live in another kingdom too, because everything is royal now. So the whole house is, I think, it's a royal house here tonight.
Yeah, I live in the kingdom of Sweden. As with Linfo stated earlier, we are caught in similar situation. Our king, he just turned 80, and he has his daughter who is in succession waiting. So it's okay. But otherwise, the countries, I mean, we experienced, we had a very good weekend last week. Then came the rain, the snow. I mean, not snow, but rain and cold. It got me a little bit under the weather as well. But everything is okay. Yeah, we look forward to the show, and hi to our listening audience.
Right, great. Well, I'm in another kingdom here called the United Kingdom. Today they had a by-election, and my party, Labour, were actually the really there with Labour is straight, and the racist party actually won a lot of seats and a lot of councils. So this is getting scary, my brother. I don't know where we're heading now. They have copied Donald Trump to the extent that everyone wanted they showing their true color. So yeah, well, while we going to share the show, wait for before you saw you saw this, right? You want to take us through the discussion for tonight, and then we'll also be looking at what's happening in Monrovia now as we speak with Samuel Tue. Talk to us, Linfa.
Yeah, definitely. The topics we have tonight, I think they're all interesting. We'll be looking at the Liberianization policy, which should give Liberian a substantial portion or substantial control over their own economy instead of leaving it in foreign hands. But the biggest question is whether that Liberianization policy offers us any, economic liberation, or is it just economic discrimination? So those are some of the things we'll be looking at. And then the next thing we'll look at is the War Crimes Code. Is it justice being long overdue, or is it that, it shouldn't be at all? But then, what for life and the victims? That's some of the questions people are asking. Then we'll look at the the interest-free loan for market women, and that is intended for empowerment. Whether it is feasible, is it a bribe or is it just ordinary incentive? So we look at that, and then the uh, midwifery curriculum. So is it too little? And we'll be looking at it because there are a lot of dying mothers. There are a lot of dying babies born at birth and then they die. Child mortality. So we will look at all those. And like you rightly mentioned, we have a developing story with a former finance minister under the WIA administration, Mr. Samuel D. Twe, who we understand was taken to or appear in court today, and whether he's found guilty, that would be the developing part of the story. So we stay. For me, I would say I'm still looking to get to that because I didn't listen to that. But all in all, it's going to be interesting tonight. And let's say welcome to Jima.
Good to have you, good people from the kingdoms, Mr. Mensa, Mr. Goy. Thank you very much for having me. Paul, welcome, guys. Quite interesting story we want to have tonight. Let's buckle up and
okay. Jima, I don't want to cut you off. There's a live or something on my phone here now. I'm sorry, you guys cannot see it, but the headline is from the closing argument. So I think it's a live broadcast now. It says Samuel Twe set free from economic sabotage. Twe is not corrupt. Court rule. So, like I said, that was a developing story. So while the show is going on, we'll be getting more details. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, no, I just want to welcome you. Thank you very much for having me. And we're going to have a nice time because we've got a couple of topics we just talk about. Quite interesting. And good news is our man Yusa will be starting the show tomorrow night. Don't forget, your story will be starting tomorrow night. We'll bring in the real detail later on tonight. So your story will be coming on tonight with Mr. Francis Modo Mensa. That will be the first edition. The mid edition will start tomorrow. That will be coming up. So don't miss it. Tomorrow you'll be here live on the borderline. We'll bring you the detail later on. Thank you guys for having me. We in Manchester, quite a nice place to be. And yeah, that's all. We wish to have a nice program this evening.
Great. So take a quick musical break while we share the show, and then we start our podcast tonight. And I'm looking forward to a fruitful discussion tonight. To our audience, kindly share the show because it will be firing. And then after the music, Jamal will take over the show tonight and lead us to the final conclusion of this podcast. Gentlemen, I think it will be a great show tonight. Let me find our national anthem while we share the show.
My people, where you at? Wake up from your slumber, stop sleeping. Wave your hands. Come on. I know you're sleeping now. You gotta wake up some more, yeah? Okay, let's go. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they will not go. I said we tired with their lies. We tired with their promises that led us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw, it frustrate us. So why can't you lie? Why can't you steal? Why can't you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you. That's why we both tell you. But you screw us, you screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. I said no one to trust. My people no one to hope on. Nobody. My hope that I have been broken. I'm telling you, brother. So where are the schools? Where are the roads? Where are the jobs that they say they could afford? But they too selfish. The people tired with their rhetoric. People tired, they tired. You see the reason why we ask why the government betray. They have enough of time, but yeah, then stay they delay. People suffer. No work for people crying for hunger. Look at. Your vision and your mission, your intention to the nation, they poor. You got nothing to show. Nothing. So, why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. They lie. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. They lie. The people fool us, oh. The people lie to us. The government betray us. They can lie, they can steal, they go knock the corrupt. We tired with their promises that left us to all our damages. We tired with that speech they preach indeed, and now unique they deceive us. The thing we saw it frustrate us. So why can you lie? Why can you steal? Why can you allow the citizens to be? You see, we just tell you that why we go tell you. But you fool us. You screw us, you use us and later on abuse us. So why? The government should lie. Why? But that's the question that we ask. The people fool us. The people lie to us. The government betray us. So much. I said they lie.
Well, once again, welcome. I think, Linfa, you want to take on this one so we can continue? Or could check on the second topic, liberalization, economy. Linfa, you want to take on this topic, liberalization, economy, Liberian economic discrimination? No? Okay, I'll put it this way.
I think there's a delay in a sound.
From where? From my end?
No,
it's from
me, but...
All right then, guys, let me just not waste our time. We don't have much time again. Let's go straight to the point. Welcome, Mr. Dolly. How are you tonight?
It's muted.
Okay. Guys, let's go to the first topic, link for just to Marcoli talk about. If it's just Johnny wants you to share the show, this is the Born Liberia. Jamal Kamara is my name. I think we got my colleague just introduced himself. Want to welcome Mr. Morris Yankuba Dollar to the show tonight, one of our panelists on the show. First topic tonight will be like liberalization. You saw it out. What is liberalization? Recently, the government of Liberia, under President Joseph Boakai, has gone around saying that with liberalization, the policy came about some years back, where some sectors will be allotted reserved for Liberians, some business area will be reserved for Liberians to go into business. So foreigners will be taking on something like tire repairs, couple of businesses being reserved for Liberian. What they've noticed lately is that other people from other countries are coming to take on those petty tradings Liberians need to do. So the government is taking up from now on the person has instructed the Vice President, Honorable Jeremiah Cohn, to go ahead and make sure Liberians take on their real businesses contracts. I mean, areas that need to go. So I want to put a question across, gentlemen. What do you see this? This is liberalization. What is it? Is this something to? I don't know how you look at it. Most of us here, probably, I'm one of the youngest among you guys so far, but most of us been hearing the thing. I think I remember saying from dual period up to present, the liberalization has been going on for years. Is this something feasible? Or is this something like this present government is doing to just make sure like they're trying to show that they are out there for Liberians? Is it something like really going to be? Is it going to be working? That's the question. I want to first go to Linfo. Linfo, can you take me through? Then got only 5 minutes. We got a couple of topics tonight. Linfo, take through to then go to Francis to Mr. Dollar, then Paul the last. Linfo, what do you think?
What? Oh, do you guys hear me well now?
Yeah, you're very loud and clear. Go on.
Okay. When it comes to the Liberianization policy, I think this is something that we've been hearing, like you said, for many years in the past, and it doesn't seem to be really materializing, or maybe to some extent, but not as expected. Because when you talk about Liberianization policy, there are certain jobs that should be for Liberians, and no matter what, it should be for Liberians. But those jobs, sometimes we Liberians, we see that we are not even doing those jobs. First of all, then secondly, even if we want to do it, we got to be competing with foreigners. I mean, take for example, classroom teachers. Okay, even in grade school, like high school or university. When I was in high school, in fact, from junior high school, most of my teachers were foreigners, Ghanaians and Sierra Leonean, up to high school. So you see, these are jobs that should be solely, not totally reserved, but 90% of it should be for Liberians. Okay, and then you look even opening shop, provision shops. My parents had provision shop. Okay, and we had Nigerian guys, and I don't want to call the names, bro, but those guys were in pastor community, and we were competing with them. So Liberianization policy for me has not worked. But when it comes to this government trying to reinitiate it, maybe it could be for political reason. We don't know, because Liberians are catching hard time, right? No job. So if you say, okay, we'll make certain businesses solely for Liberian people, yeah, that sounds good in the ear. But the question is, how will it be implemented? Whether it will be or how, to what extent? That's a question we all should be asking and watching to see it unfold.
Good question. That's a good question I'm going to ask. I'll take this straight to Mr. Mensah. Mr. Mensah, some critics will say, this can become xenophobia in the policy clothing. Like, well, you're trying to separate, you want to target non-Liberians, and that are be contributing to this economy. And when you're looking at it, because if you look at that, the Liberian constitution says that people of Negro descent can only become citizens. Then what about Indians, Lebanese that are being third generations living in Liberia? They are not in Negro descent, and they have they got Liberian citizenship. What will you tell them? They don't have any right to this particular companies or contract reserved for Liberians. Mr. Mensah.
That's two separate discussions for different time. Xenophobia and creating and enforcing jobs on the books for Liberian citizens to serve in the position, particularly in those foreign-run concessions company. They have agreement that over a certain period of time, assuming that after 3 years, Liberians lay on the job, and then those positions be given to Liberia, but it's not happening. I think the government attempt is good, but there are a lot of challenges ahead. Our susceptibility to bribe, labor officials, can they uphold that? And also, there are a lot of variables that may play, interfere with implementation of that policy. But it's a good act, and we hope that we see it. Our professional Liberians abroad in the diaspora who have worked in similar fields, and they bring people that learn on the job, and it become bosses. So yeah, that's my take on this. So I think it's a good policy. Just relax.
It's a good policy. Then I have a quick question to Paul. Now go to Mr. Dodd. Mr. Paul, Lord Jolly. people say without Liberian having, they don't have the capital, they don't have the training, they don't have the supply chain, their food reservation for them. This create a market void, not opportunity. You gave them the opportunity. We saw it happening in the Zimbabwe where they took lands from the whites and they gave it to Zimbabwe themselves. But then those lands became empty. They were not used for it. They don't become resourceful anymore. People who say if you give Liberian people these opportunities, I'm not saying you shouldn't give it to them, but they don't have the resources. So can you address that, Mr. Paul? The larger of it.
Good evening to our audience. Yeah, I think it's a good discussion here. This is what many Liberians have been calling for years, and it been on the book. But recently, there was a contract given to a Sierra Leone company to build the highway going from Freeport heading all the way to Sierra Leone. There was Liberian companies around. Why they didn't give it to Liberian? They gave it to Sierra Leone.
No, but this is different. I mean, is that the recent road from?
Yes.
Well, I think that's a contract between Sierra Leone and Liberia where.
No. It's the Liberian government that gave the contract to a Sierra Leone company. So if you want to push this thing, they have Liberian's company that could do it. So you empower Liberians. That's the whole idea. So there are few other companies. Let's look at the cleaning thing that this girl was on. I think Spoon the last time. Fanta about about the cleaning contract that they won there. They up to today is still on the book. They refused to give it to a Liberian company. I think it was going to a Ghanaian company. So if you put this on the book and then you sing for Liberians, then how come those things cannot be given to Liberians? And then on the book, it sounds so sweet to Liberians. So until this is implemented, that's the only way. I think Linford said it right. It could be political motivated as well, not implementing what they meant to do for Liberians. If you go to Ghana, Ghanaians have shown us that even to have a bread shop, you have to have Ghanaian partner with a Liberian. Why we can't do the same? This is it's good on a book, but the implementation of it, they should empower Liberians. That's how I see it. If the Liberians don't have money, that's a way that you empower them, but they come with their innovation. So you empower your people, and then in the end, they employ a lot of Liberians into it. Local, you're talking about labor ministry that are giving a lot of lessons to foreigners that Liberians could be doing jobs. So how can you have this on board and the very ministry that's responsible giving it to foreigners? It doesn't make sense. That's how I see it.
Right. Okay. Can somebody tell me some key business reserved for Liberians, if you know? Mr. Dollar, can you help me out here?
Thank you very much. This thing here is not today story. This thing been going on for ages. If my memory can serve me right, when Samuel Kanyalo then took over, they introduced similar thing like this. He said even the agencies for rice.
Yeah, I'll just ask you to name. Before you continue, things that we reserve for Liberians are transportation, retail sectors, including taxi, trucking services, retail sales of rice, cement, timber, planks, ice, pharmaceutical. Other services include travel, advertisement agency, commercial printing, tire repair, shoe repair shops, as well as operation of gas stations and block making. So they also have something like, I'll just give you support now so you can be able to talk more. Making sales of ice, auto repair, but you should also know that it should be less than $550,000. It can be run by Liberian because they need some capital. So those are the
we should be ashamed of ourselves. Are they good things they get all to do?
Let me tell you guys
go on. Yeah, I'll just give you what is reserved for us. Go on.
Yeah, these are some of the entities, business that are definitely reserved for the Liberian. But let me just say the decision that the present government is only taking now is it happened before when Samuel they took over. They even banned every foreign national from exporting or having agencies, gas agencies, and any other small entities issue. But when these things were given to the Liberian people to run it, they misuses. Beat them. Because I'm living witness to one that Ministry of Justice were instructed to chase some of the Liberians, and they have to flee out of the country and go into exile after the misappropriated opportunity. So the only best thing that I think every Liberian need to focus on is to make sure that nobody should be above the law. Equally so, and when this system is introduced, everybody should serve as an agent to monitor it fully and solely. It's happening in Ghana because I know I have a child in Ghana who struggled to even get a job in Ghana because he's a Liberian. After he graduated from universities, he got his degree in whatever, but he's struggling to get a job there because he's now a Ghanaian. So the thing that we're talking about, so everything that we're talking about, Ghana introduced it. It is the best thing for the citizen, but it's a recipe to xenophobia.
Wow. So a quick question going around. I want people to pick on these guys. This is a very sensitive question. I know I'm not trying to start something here, but the question comes, what happens to Lebanese Indian traders whose families have been in Liberia for 3 generations, and most of them are naturalized Liberians? So what happened to them? That's the question. I want somebody to give a take on this.
Yeah. Let me.
I want you to go quick 1 minute. Go around, please.
There's no Lebanese national is naturalized citizen in Liberia. Only the Malato, but no typical mother and father typical Lebanese.
Okay, what about those who've been working there for 3 generations, going business to us? So
I work at the Ministry of Justice for 7 breaking years. I know.
What do you think? I want you to tell me, what do you think?
To do with them?
What do you think? Those that be providing all services for 3 generations. Lebanese Indians are not. Go ahead and tell me, what do you think? I don't call why you call me.
I think that they should make sure and pay the necessary resident permit as usual and continue to do that, but not to be given a citizenship.
I'm not asking for citizenship. What happened to them, those who are doing the business for 3 generations? Anyway, I'll go to other person.
What happened to them? They've been serving, and then we've been giving them the opportunity to do their business without any restriction.
You just told us right now that Mr. Dollar. Okay, thank you. Guys, a quick question. Mr. Dollar just said to us, where rights agency petrol agents were going to typical Liberians, they failed us. Government have to chase them, and it will go to other foreign national. They did well with it. So the question is, can we go back and give it to them when they can't continue doing a good job? Can we give it to our own people if they can't deliver? The question goes to everybody. Can anybody pick on this, please?
I want to give it a shot. Okay. I think there may have been instances where some Liberians failed, and when Pandora say they failed, I don't know, because they were not. If you were to Liberian national business, if I was given the opportunity to maybe run a barber shop, and I started and it didn't work. I'm not working for anybody. I work for myself anyway, so it didn't just work. It doesn't mean that I failed and then somebody will have to chase me up. No. Let me finish talking. Then you'll talk.
Mr. Dollar, you finish already. Give me a chance, please.
No, I just want to do some clarity.
No, I don't want to forget my talk.
We'll give you the chance, please. Let me finish,
the next part I want to comment on is maybe people who were chased are the people who received money from government and they didn't pay. But because the point we're trying to make here is not only about people receiving money from government, But we're talking about businesses that, whether if I can start a business, whether how small it is, but it should be even for Liberians. So if the millionaire foreigner come, he cannot do that business. That's what only law. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about how they got the money to run it. No. What we're talking about is that those businesses should be set aside solely for Liberians. So until no Liberian can do it, let's say the home, it will be impossible that there will be no Liberian to run a barber shop or to run a provision shop, to run a gas station. And as we speak today, we have had successful people in the gas business. I mean, and son, they are not foreigners. And a group of them, a lot of people, even down to the point where the boys are selling gas on the sidewalk. So, it has to do with the economy itself. And then we talk about support, because for people to go into those businesses, some people don't have money to start readily. So they also have that opportunity. And this is my point, that government should be able to provide for people. Yes, a lot of people will take the money and go, they mismanage it, but that doesn't mean that everybody will do it. That opportunity should still be for Liberians, no matter what. If I take the money and mismanage it, and government should also have system in place that people who are loaning money can be held accountable for. So the government shouldn't just take the money and dash people and go and say, okay, John Brown come for money, Peter come for money. No, they should have a system in place, a vetting system, that if people apply for the money, when they get it, what they'll do, and there should be something almost equivalent to collateral, that if you damage your money, your property could be seized. Then I think if the government put those systems in place, I think people will try, because there are some Liberians trying by themselves. Look at Musa Belete. He started by himself and he's doing well. So we can't, even though when snake bites you, you'll always be afraid, but that doesn't mean that you can't walk still. When car be accident, all the people, they can say, take the same people and put them in the car, you can carry them. That's it, let it be right there. All
right.
Yeah, but Jamal,
let me just give a short credit on this thing here, so you guys can come up. You know what Mr. Limva said is true, that not every Liberian mess about, but most of this sensitive business were given straight there to the Liberian. Even the foreigner want to involve in it, you have to go through the Liberian to what I call it.
For example,
and in that gas station agencies and the rest agencies and things, then they were given a credence, they were given a right to even give them credits, to give them loan. These are some of the cases.
Mr. Dollar, thank you. That's clear. We know that. Mr. Dollar, I need to just interrupt you so we can get other points.
And the property they gave their property, those that went for loan, they gave their property as a collateral.
Mr. Dollar, it's okay. It's okay. Can we get put a chance to speak on this? Francis and Paul, can you just quickly talk to this so we can go to the second, the next topic?
Yeah,
Linford is saying that we should, whether care we have it or not, we should reserve it for Liberian. It is for Liberian. That's what he said.
The fact is that we have a lot of clause or constitutional issue with that, with that very Liberianization or policy or law. We got Nigerians who are coming with the capital, they naturalize themselves, they into the keke business now, the pen business, they into everything. That's how in Liberia, the guy I was down in the pen with this guy. I didn't know right pen. So I asked him, I'm going to the Barnaby Johnson, and that's shaking here. He that's shaking here. He go, I couldn't tell you that's shaking your head. Every question I ask him, so that's it. So that's it's good.
It's critical. I get you. I got you coming from. So people may come because the Constitution allows people that skin to be a citizen. You can come and naturalize and take on Liberian businesses because you're Liberians by people anyway. Paul, what do you think?
Well, the thing is, I think they need to enforce it in a way, because in Liberia, the reason why they don't prioritize Liberians is because of the greed factor, that you want to start something, you have that innovation, how to do this. Then the government will tell you, or people who are supposed to give you that opportunity will tell you, say, give me 10% of what you're going to start with. So how on earth you expect a Liberian business to thrive if you want 10% of this person business? So they kill the dream of Liberians. So until they stop doing that, I gave you example of my own personal example that experience that I had with the Liberian government. In 2015, when we started the renewable energy business in Liberia, and Rawafi Highway was a death trap for a lot of people. So we engaged the government said they didn't have money. Fair enough. Now, when before Ellen could leave office, that's when she appointed the current police director, Gregory. And somebody introduced him to me. And at that meeting, I saw this idea about police depot around the country in darkness, all their checkpoints. And when I engaged him, he said that they didn't have money. But that very day in his office, there was a Lebanese guy that came to sell another idea for government vehicle. In less than 2 months, this guy was given a contract. So it just shows you that they believe foreigners more than their own Liberians. So it is why it is until that mentality change. We're going nowhere.
Okay. There was an argument, or probably all on the social media right now. Somebody's accusing the vice president of taking the license, printing of the license, Liberian license from John Uboti and giving it to a Lebanese business guy. I don't know whether it's that particular business reserved for Liberian, but that's a question we can look into. But gentlemen, and a quick comment on that, we can move to the next topic. So what do you think? Do we agree here that whether we can support or not? Because there are two arguments here, or two debates here. Reserve what is for Liberians, but let's support them, give them the right requisite, the resources so they can be able to prosper. Not only telling them we get reserve them, but giving them the power, empower them to be who they are. This is what we are saying, right? This is the point. Because what is Liberian should be Liberia. Is that what we are saying?
Yeah. And there's a reason why I'm saying that. Because let's say the five of us here, if one of us is successful in that business, okay, once that business is reserved for us Liberians, and one of us is successful, that person could help another person among us here, and they start. I'll give you an example with the Fula people and the Madungo people, and even the Indian people. That's why I always make a joke. Since I was born, I know the Madungo man father or the uncle or the older brother. Because we used to have the tailor boys around our shop. Every time one new one will kind of say to my brother, Jackie from Guinea, that brother will be hustling small, he'll be pressing from there, he'll be cutting the clothes, he'll be sewing small. When you know the man buy, you know, me saying he move. Then new brother can get, they send him with flag guys, you know. So they can help each other. So, you know, once we do it like that, Liberians will start looking, the competition will be among Liberians. Instead of you having some hustler from somewhere who will go and credit some big money from your country, but because he can't survive, you know, in the business world in his country, then he comes to Liberia, that is a soft target, and that's what's happening to our economy. You see, you want to tell me the Nigerian guy love our country so much? Okay, no, but because they know it's a soft target, you know. So let that business be for us. No matter how lazy we are, somebody from all will try to make it, because I mean we've had successful people making these smaller businesses and succeeding. So why you make it? And so our economy is so bad that we do have the economic power, so we can loan money from the government, or even our friends can pay.
We agree on the platform tonight that the Unity Party is taking a bold step then.
But it's belated. Jamal, they should have done that long time.
No, I have a part 2 to A.
Okay,
why they're taking a bold step, we agree they're taking a bold step. But let me tell you, there is no action in the world that does not have intent. Every action got intent. You want to get something when you do it. Okay, the general idea is that we want to put Liberians into business. We want to make it good. But then who benefits? They will get a good deal. Oh yeah, that would make it into material like that. UP will vote for them. All this time. You know, so
that's cheap, man. That's cheap.
Francis, give me a chance. Linfo, let me say something to Linfo. Mr. Dollar just said something. Samuel Doe came out. There was no competition to Samuel Doe. He gave Liberian gas agency, rice agency, other things that Liberian could manage. He gave it, and not only that, he gave funding to them to be able to manage. Most of them failed. So is the same step probably the unitary government is trying to stick? Will you say that they're looking for something like
Joe also want a vote. I mean, remember that.
But it was not competing with anybody.
Joe was not elected from his first term.
It was not election time when he did that. He was on his own. He thought that Liberian should progress. He put money behind it.
When did he do that?
What year was that?
He did it in 1983.
When he came to power,
Joe was transitioning to a civilian rule already.
Yeah, but at least he had good intention for the citizens.
Yeah, but the same way, they argue that the party do have good intention.
Okay, so at least we agree that they got good intention, and they're putting their mouth in there. And they're also pushing for it. Do we agree on this tonight?
So, Jamal, the intention is brilliant. Nobody would sit on a platform and say it's not a good intention. But if they implement that good intention, we want Liberians to be middle class. We don't have that in Liberia. If you're extremely poor, you're poor. If you're up there, you're up there. But the group of people, if now the loan thing, I think we'll touch on it. I just want to throw something there. If you believe in Liberians, now go to Liberia, go take loan. They will give you loan today. Less than 3 weeks, you start paying back. So they need to give you time. You see, until they do that, then you say, okay, but you can't get somebody 200 today, and then you say, oh, the purchase you start with a market. The widow market, he have not bought anything, and he start paying back money finished. Then that person decide to run away. They say, oh, Liberians take loan. They can't. That the system need to change.
I don't think I will add to what you just said. There's no way that people go to the bank or go to the government entities, because Samuel Doe established a similar entity because we used to call it a small business owner. You will go there.
Pandora, don't the thing I'm talking. There's my own experience with person. Then you tell me to Samuel daughter.
That's what I'm saying. Telling you everything you're talking about right now. Samuel Doe has practiced it in introduced it. He go flat based on the
so they didn't pay
of the Liberian people.
But
they didn't pay. That's why they did not pay.
They brought in the bank access bank.
That's money given to people.
But the other way now, access bank is still they brought access bank. The purpose of access bank to be able to give loan to small businesses. But when they gave you that loan, less than a month, you start paying back. It's happening now. That's what I'm telling you.
Well, so can I ask Paul some question here? Quick question before we go around. Paul, on the issue, we'll go back to that loan. Why the government is giving? Can you reserve your questions or your point for that? We'll go to that topic, please. Yeah. Or the level of the government is coming over a loan for market women. We can discuss that in detail. So we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll go to the second topic tonight. That will be what will be the second topic, gentlemen? Paul, Linford, tell me what was that? We'll be looking at war crime code. War crime code. Now the question is, the government of Liberia, the draft for the war crime code establishment has been passed to the president. The draft of the act has been passed to the president. So we'll be discussing details, and we'll be looking at where they're going to happen. Some people sitting on the platform still have doubt that the war crime code will ever exist in Liberia. We'll discuss that. We'll take a quick break and come back. Please share the show. Share the show. Be with this is the one Liberia. My name is Jamal Kamara. We'll be waiting a split second.
Welcome to Your Story, hosted by Francis Mano-Mensah. Join us each episode as we dive deep into the lives of inspiring guests, exploring the challenges and successes that have shaped their journeys. Discover their unique experiences, insights, and the powerful stories that define them. Tune in and be inspired. Coming soon on The Bottom Line Liberia.
Yes, why I can't get no pay. It'll be coming live tomorrow. First May edition will be coming tomorrow. We'll be telling you when that happened at the end of the show. Your story will be starting tomorrow. Don't be away with this. We're gonna have some nice, important guests, and you will be sharing you what we have in the package for you. Tomorrow, your story will start. The edition will start tomorrow, Saturday. Your time. Let's Liberian time, 8 o'clock. I think 7 o'clock. UK 9, 8 o'clock. Central European time, 9 o'clock. The guest is that the host will be hosting a very, very important guest. Very interesting story, intriguing story. You will learn a lot. So we will tell you at the end of the show who will be your guest on the show tomorrow. Anyway, I'll go to the topic, the war crime code, gentlemen. The legislation has submitted a draft to the president. The question is now, we have the question, we'll be discussing it for years now, but the war crime code. I have a question here to ask every one of you here. Liberia, be waiting for this, for recommended the war crime code. Yes, for 70 years later now, no code exists, no regional international pressure is now pushing Liberia to add. But so are those why we fear? Why is this holding this thing? The draft has been passed to the president. What is it called? Jala Babu, the draft, he handed the draft, or the draft has been given to the president. So we expect the president to add on. Do you still see that this is an illusion, gentlemen? I want you to just go around. Anybody can take from here. Will this economic crown code will it happen in Liberia? That's the question. Then we'll go in detail. Anybody can pick on. Anybody can start.
my Jack Daniel is still here until that happens. It's not going to happen, Jamal.
Paul is one of the very doubtful guy here. We don't believe that he doubt that the war crime code ever exists in Liberia. The draft, the legislation has come up with a draft. They passed to the president for his approval, and now we see it. So you still doubt that this war economic crime code will ever exist in Liberia, Paul?
No, it will never happen.
Why
So
it won't happen?
it's just a formality that they have to go through to present to the people that they're doing something, but it will never happen. If they wanted to happen from day one, it should have been in place long time. So it's just to conjure the people. And that's why they send it to the president. The president will sit on it. He's not going to do anything with it. I can guarantee you here, he's not going to do anything with it. And then another person will come with promise it will never deliver. If they remove the economic stuff from it, maybe we'll have something. But so long economic attached to it, they are all thieves. Thieves cannot investigate themselves. So it's not going to happen. That is just a dream. And I cannot see it happening in my lifetime. So they just doing it to conjure people until they take a bold step. Then I will open my Jack Daniel. It's not going to happen.
Wow. Linford, the World Economic Crime Code, when it established, is open the Pandora box. You think those Pandora box will open?
But it is overdue. That's the first place.
20 years, isn't it?
That doesn't mean that it cannot happen because the people who believe in the power say there's time for everything in the book of Ecclesiastes. So there's time to be born and there's time to die. There's time to be hungry. Time so now you'll go get full. So there is time for everything, and I want to believe that the time will come. But the question is when. You see, and the reason why a lot of people are getting concerned is that people who should face this war crimes code as recommended by the TRC, most of the people are fading away. We have the late former Senator Prince Johnson. Then we have the late former presidential candidate and political leader of ACO, my former chief, we have Johnson. And the rest of the other guys are getting too old now. Thomas Jayan is getting old. George Polly is getting old. A lot of them, a couple of them are getting old. What is his name? Damande? Yeah, all people who are getting old, and they went up parading around born naked. He's getting old, So people are getting concerned that if all these people die, even though that doesn't the war crimes code is not intended for them particularly, but they were mentioned. They are people of interest. Okay, so when they die, then who are going to go hold? I mean, the baby soldier that they had, they're getting old now. People look at people like, okay, great. So everybody might die, and then when it been a war in economic crimes code, you convict people. Maybe you get go put that thing around their grave because that's what they normally So people are getting concerned, but I think it will happen, and the time is a question, but it will happen. If this government doesn't do it, another government will do it. But do then that way 1990 and they get buried recently. So there's time for everything.
Before I go to leave, I got a question for you, Linfo. Before I go to other guys to comment on it, Ellen Johnson, Madam Ellen Johnson Saliv was named in the TRS report. She won the Nobel Peace Prize.
Yeah.
Will the court pursue her?
Oh yeah, you see, Ellen Johnson, Madam Johnson former President Johnson won the Nobel Peace Prize because there was no case against her. If the TRC had, or let's say the War and Economic Crime was established at that time, and then she was facing court process, there will be she couldn't win it. Now, I will tell you, when she won the Nobel Peace Prize, because I played a very instrumental role in that process. We were here. When she won the Peace Prize, after I think almost a year, the one of the opposition parties here, okay, at that time it was the Labour Party that were in power. So I think the social leftists of the other group here, they took issue with the party. Why, with the Norwegian government, why a war convict or somebody who is alleged to be a war convict could receive the Nobel Peace Prize? It was a big controversy. They were even calling on the Nobel Peace Prize Committee to withdraw the Peace Prize from her. It was a big controversy, but I think, somehow the case went to rest. So if the case were already established at that time, I'm sure that we're not going to give her the prize.
Okay.
All right.
Mr. Mans, I'm going to Mr. Dollar. I'll give you a question. I'm going to go straight to Francis. I got a question for everybody here quickly, so we can able to go this in time. George, we have Mr. Francis Mensah. George, we have administration avoided the court entirely. Why did President Joseph Bock agree to support this, and what has changed so far?
Look, everybody have said it. Paul said it. My colleague, but that's my point now, though. I look at it from two perspectives now, though. I think the Newberg case, they opened up, our trial for the war, I think for 60, 70 years back in the house when people convicted. The people had the resources. But our people, we are heavily reliant on foreign aid.
Yes,
that court was designed specifically for foreign aid to facilitate it. So I don't think the government will be able to waste 40 million, 50 million, 100 million on that court because it requires documentation. You need witnesses. You need to bring people from around the world to testify. You need a whole secretariat. And the government do not have it. Our own budget is heavily reliant on donor aid. Donor contribution.
Yeah, but
quickly, no.
Let me get into just to Francis. Francis, the thing is, you are right that the war crimes code or the whole code was supposed to be sponsored by the West, but the West have been pushing. If you Paul, do you remember that video we had with what the guy named Allen White?
Allen White, but that's what I'm saying. It's not going to happen. That's
if the government have pushed it, let the government push it. If they present it to the international community, then the international community now will say, okay, these people are serious. But if our government is sitting on it, they're not doing anything. The international community will not kind of say, look,
all right, let me just come in.
No, Mr. Dory.
Wait.
Let me just learn.
We'll give you a chance.
Look,
please.
What leave for look, hey, they will, even these guys adding White, they getting their call from that court. You think they'll be paid handsomely? That reason I want to push it. It's not that they really.
That's what I'm saying.
It's not that they're really interested in prosecuting our people, the war crimes and atrocities that are committed against our people, economic crimes that are committed. You said it right. All the people, they're dying. They have no value right now to that case. What would they do if the government is actually intentional about that? You have done that thing long time. They want to step in. So this is not going to happen, man. It's a joke.
Okay, Mr. Dollar, I will give to you. Then, Mr. Paul, I got a special question for you for Paul. But Mr. Dollar, what's your take on this whole war economic crime code?
Yeah.
The draft is given to the president.
From my information, the entire war crime code is a fiasco.
It's a joke.
It's a joke. You see, the statins, the recommendation. I mean, the work that were done by the TRC, their recommendations found communication were compromised. I can bring this thing to you guys' attention. First of all, when they interview people and cross-examine people here and there and rest of it, when they were making their final communications to recommend, there was a split among them. And one of the contradictions was made.
Yeah.
One of the contradictions was also made this way. They even write in their final communication that exonerating certain elements that were recognized in this particular Liberian crisis. They exonerate them. They say they should not be prosecuted. They should not be banned from running for presidency and whatever, because why? They confess. You say they confess to the crime. I don't want to name them, but it's in the document. So for this reason, the entire communication is seriously compromised. So from now on, whoever putting anything out, he's not going to go forward. There will be a heated argument to legalize the prosecution system, and things then will not be possible. Because if you are given if you are as an investigator, if you are given an investigations platform to conduct, you have no right to exonerate anybody when there's evidence to associate that the person was one of the doers. You can only recommend. You can send in your recommendation, your finding, and tell the people, this is one we saw, and this is the thing that can be done. Full stop. But you cannot recommend anybody because you're not a judge. So that happened in the TRC's report. So it's not credible to give any credence to. Then my second contention on this thing here is, like what Mr. Chilupi said, so long economic crime is attached to this thing here, it will be difficult for it to be implemented. Because every single Liberian senior citizens that were in government and in the cookie jar. So if you go in for one, you gotta go for all. So it will be difficult to implement this thing here. That's what I can say.
Right. Paul, going straight to you, but you guys got a doubt that the war economic crime would happen. We just have that 5 months ago, but today will make it, I think, 5 months. Samuel D. Twell has been dragged into the court for some kind of financial sabotage or misappropriation, you can name it. And if you have a doubt that this is going to happen, why do you think the government, UP government, is dragging these guys to court one at a time? You can also remember that most permanent Liberians, including Mary Bro, other people, have been dragged into court for some financial issues. So do you still doubt that with a war economic crime court, with these government steps, we didn't see that in Georgia government anyway, but now the government, can we get a credit to the government for at least acknowledging that these things happening and letting them know that there was something committed, or they have to face some investigation for these things? Why can't you give government the credit for these steps?
Yeah, Samuel
Sorry, I'm talking to Paul.
Oh, okay.
If you want to talk, yeah, please.
Yeah, well, I want you to know that Samuel Tway has been set free.
You can come back and comment on the laptop. This Paul chance, please.
All right.
Paul, go on.
Jamal, I will start with George Weah. I remember George Weah when the printing of the money issue came out. He sent Eddie Johnson's son to prison to show that he was fighting some sort of corruption. So these are all political stuff that they do. So, no, these are all political things. So if you want to nail somebody, you're not dragging, you have to get the evidence from day one. strong evidence on them, you nail them, and then we'll see it. Look, like what happened with Samuel 12 today, he been free. So it's just a political game that is being played. If these people are serious, they know where to go, how to do it, and what to do it. Now, if you want, you're talking about the economic side. If I took money from Liberia and bank it in maybe some island that you cannot trace, to get that money, you have to have international connection with all of these guys to be able to bring money. We're told that Samuel 12 built a lot of houses in Africa. It's just by hearsay. So if you have evidence on him, why will he let him go free? So these are all political tactics they're playing.
Can I hold you there? Can I hold you there, Paul? Mr. Dolly can come in later on if you want to clarify. Paul, the thing is, under George Weah, we didn't see many people being brought to the court or being embarrassed, kind of. We saw it from a lot of Liberian senior government officials that are being asked to give some information about the financial situation. It didn't happen on the George Weah. We only spoke about Elling's son. So why can't you give this government the credit?
So
at least they're taking the step.
You call few names, yeah. You call few names.
Tell me, apart from Elling's son, tell me one person who
listen, but you did call few names. The Mary Brewer, the Amos Sawyer Webb. They were a lot of them.
Kimaya or something. Kimaya,
all of them. Kimayans. It was just to showcase what happened to the case. What is the conclusion? You want to bring in people, and then they're free.
So you wanted to go to jail, but they listen, George, Paul. Let's get this straight. The issue here is this: the government will bring you forward. It's up to you to defend yourself. They're not carrying you to persecute you, right? You have the right to defend yourself. So defend yourself, right? That's the point here. So at least I'm saying we should give the government the credit that at least some people were brought before to clear their names. Mr. Dolly, you want to say something on this?
Yeah. I want to say something. Let's start beating around the bush here.
Okay, go on straight to the point.
Let's be realistic here. You see, if you somebody serious to prosecution one, before you invite the person for anything, you collect all evidence. Francis is a police officer. You know what I'm talking about. So before you call somebody for hearing or for any investigation, whatever, you collect evidence on the person. This evidence should be in your hand. Then you invite him. When he deny on anything, you put it out. When he deny on anything, you put it out. Immediately, then you can easily prosecute the person. Did not do anything like that. One of the examples is the days of Finabono case. What happened to a person up to now? No hit, no take. The Mirobo issue you're talking about, what happened to it? No hit, no take. You see, the government is doing it as a political game that are asking it to be. They are not handling the situation relatively. Because the point of the matter is, all those guys that we're talking about, now in Mr. Weah administration, even the former minister for presidential affairs, we knew what kind of person he was. You couldn't even pay $50 rent. You see the property he had. What happened to him up to present? You think there's no evidence to show that this man actually is an inherent criminal?
Let me just add on it before
Leave want to make on it before we take
before Leaford and Francis come in. Look, Jamal, Nathaniel McGee, when he built this story about he built a house for his dead mother, and we know that this guy had nothing before he became somebody. So if you want to investigate so from day one, if you want to nail somebody from day one, you trace how this person became somebody when it was nobody overnight. They didn't get business that government job they doing.
Why are you saying they were intending to embarrass them, but they're not having any proof against them? That's what you're saying.
That's the point. So you need, if you want to nail somebody, nail the person. Don't just showcase and then it disappear.
Do you want to say anything before we go to the next topic?
Oh, you see, it is very difficult in Liberia for governments to prosecute people from past governments. The thing is, they get entangled the same reason for which they should have prosecuted the past government, when they get there, they start to even do worse. And secondly, secondly, we have this culture where we recycle the politicians, where we recycle the same ministers that are in Ellen government, some of them were lucky they came in we ask government, and those some of those ones that are in we are government, some of them lucky they came in Baka's government. Okay, and trust me, if they see two parties continue to win, they see some of the same group from we are and Baka government will go into the next government. So you see the recycle, and so they all got a red oil on them. Now we all can be white chicken and we'll get red oil on. Then you want to tell me, say, oh my man, you get red oil on.
That's
So
a
that
good
was
one.
yeah.
All right,
So,
guys, we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. We'll talk about.
Francis, you haven't said anything on
No,
this.
Francis, they don't want to talk on that. You say you have a reserve comment. We'll move to the next topic.
No. Look, let me just conclude.
Look, go on.
We basically seen the same thing here. This thing it was dead on arrival. Nothing on the count of it. Fiasco, now Mumu. Unity Party, they playing politics for it. They got elected, they got voted, and they have never done anything. The government, as I stated earlier, there's a whole secretariat you have to establish. You have investigators. You need to have people who would do copywriting. I mean, you name it. And I don't know if it's going to be a retributive justice or whatever. We don't even know. So I mean, the politicians waste our time, man. They go elected. Let us enjoy the election, and then move on. Then wait for 2029.
We'll come back. Linfo will name those who are showing on our pro platform tonight. Those who are also sharing it. So once you to share the show, we'll take a quick break. Come back. We'll be looking at the topic: free interest loan for market women. Is that empowerment or election bribe? We'll take a quick break and come back. We'll go straight into some people that are following us right now on the show.
Welcome to your... In a world drowning in noise, where sound bites replace substance, there's a voice cutting through the chaos. Audience with the Lord Chola Play conversation, where Liberians and global citizens tackle the questions we're afraid to ask. Every Sunday at 8 p.m. UK and Liberian time, and 9 p.m. Central European time, Audience with Lord Chola Play. On the Bottom Line, Liberia explores the issues that keep you up at night. Democracy's future in the age of misinformation. Economic systems that serve people, not just profits. Technology reshaping our lives. Reconciliation, development, and the crisis of meaning in modern Liberia. No easy answers, no tribalism, just intellectual courage, genuine curiosity, and the willingness to wrestle with complexity together. This is for Liberians who refuse to shrink their thinking, who believe nuance is wisdom, who are ready to remember how to think, not just what to think. Audience with the Lord Cholo Play Show. Sunday, 8 p.m. Liberian time. Subscribe now. Join the conversation on the Bottom Line Liberia, because the questions that matter most are the ones we're brave enough to ask.
Just the questions that you want to ask is this Sunday. Don't forget to join the Lord Chola Play Show, Audience with the Lord Chola this Sunday on this platform right here, right at the same time. So, Linfo, share with us who follow us tonight. I know we got a lot of people following us, but let's see what you got.
Yeah, okay. People who I can see here, we have Fele Kete, Pataki, is another also. Somebody is using their company name here, which is Chops Renewable Energy. And we have Archie Keiga. Also, Alfonso Tele is there with his interesting comments. And there's a host of other people, some watching on my own platform. But the names are moving so fast, so I can see. But those are just a few of the people that I can recognize right now. And if you watch us and we haven't mentioned you, that it doesn't mean that we don't want to, but we cannot see you because we are streaming from Facebook and also from YouTube. from different channels. So all you need to do, you can go in the comment box and comment, then we'll see your name. Just say, you got to say a long thing. Hello, or I'm watching from so place. My name is Alfonso Tele, for example, and then we can see you. So thank you
very much. Thank you very much. Thank you, guys. We want to say a big thank you for those who follow us. A lot of people, more than 200 people following us today on different platforms. Say, please subscribe. Once we come out, you'll be alerted to you follow us on the borderline. We'll have a couple of programs coming on the show. We'll be having your story coming on just tomorrow, Saturday, as well as on Sunday. We'll be having the audience will launch the place. So this platform will be packed with interesting programs. So be part of the borderline Liberia. We are here to stay. Now, tonight, we'll be looking at interest-free loans for market women, empowerment or election bribe. Recently, the government announced that the government-backed interest-free loan credit targeting market women have been announced from various points. The question is whether they represent genuine structural support for Liberian informal economy or cynical vote buying ahead of elections. The question is the government trying to bribe people to get them on their side for 2029? Or is this something, it's another, Mr. Dollar would say, Fiamomo or Fiabo, how do you call it? Gentlemen, I'll go to Mr. Dollar. Mr. Dollar, what do you think? Government gave interest-free loan for market women. What do you think? No pay, nothing. You said today the interest was too heavy, so people couldn't pay now. Now the government is saying we're going to give you free loan. Don't pay anything. Market women first, because they are the backbone of the private economy. So what do you think? The government is doing something right or not?
Yeah, can I say something?
Go on.
But you get it, flow.
Yeah, thank you very much. That alone, that statement alone from the government is a scam.
Free interest loan.
That's what I'm telling you now. It's a scam. You see what happened? Even the world superpower country or world richest countries in Kenya, they doesn't give room like that to anybody. You understand what I'm saying? If poor country like Liberia, you say that you're giving a free
interest loan
room to the citizen, where are you getting the money from to succeed?
What much that they do these the Islamic window, the kind of thing with no ethical loan, they don't take
even like Islamic window you're talking about, you know, there's the people pay interest. You know that one. That one is a lie. You understand? There's nothing like that. There's nothing like that anywhere in the world for you to give a loan to someone with no interest.
So what do you think? It's not working. It's not going to work.
Now something the jet generator is a how we look at it right now is a cosmetics strategy they are just applying. You understand, to balance people. But the young man who is heading that team, he's well known for such a thing.
Okay.
So basically, right. I don't give credence to that statement there. To be realistic, he's not going to work. He might work for a few people, but those that really deserve to bear, to bear the fruit, might not have it.
Okay, then. Guys, free interest loan for market women. What do you think? Government is trying to empower our market women, or is a way to bribe their hearts into voting them for 2029? That's the question on the floor. They said genuine costs. I give it to Linford, please. Go on.
Well, you see, we still going in circle. It's a simple spin stuff we're doing.
Okay.
Government is not even up to date with its current expenditures. I got people who inform me that they are not taking pay since April. Okay, even though just one month lapsed. And then the government is struggling to sponsor other projects. And then you're talking about giving money. Is that throwing money away free? And we've been arguing about this here on this show just this evening, where Pandora said some people took money from government and then they ran away. So they mismanaged it. Now, remember that if that statement by Pandora was true, which I know it was true, in some cases, those people were committed. They were supposed to pay back, and they didn't pay. And they even mismanaged the business. So why you think government, you're taking money and dashing it in the laps of people say, hey, John Brown can't go, can't for money and go. John Brown will not even go to the market. John Brown will sit there in one King Jewish shop By tomorrow, they will tell you whom all the money gone. Then few things we need to consider, right? Few things we are discussing this issue. Few things we need to consider. Number one, how much are we talking about? How much will they be giving people? Will everybody get the same amount across the board, or will you get money according to the kind of business you want to make? Okay,
right?
And who makes sure to check on you that you are going to actually invest that money for the intended purpose? That two things right there. How much you will get, and who will check on you to make sure that money will be invested for the rest? Because from what it's saying, it's like you're giving the money to people. Go what you can do with your business. Okay, then the third thing is it going to be across the board to everybody? Because
who are minister alone?
Members of the United Party.
You mean the selection criteria? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah,
right?
The selection criteria. So you got 10 ANC women, 10 CDC women, and then 100 United Party women. You think who will get the money? Of course, definitely they will give it to United Party people. Okay, and in fact, it might not even be public. I mean, I don't know how they're going to do it. Well, we wait. I mean, I can't go that far yet. We wait to see how they're going to do it. But my concern right now is how much they'll be giving and how to put check on the money that is being used for intended purpose. Whether everybody will get or it will be open to all citizens, then I can send my old entity to go stand on the line to get some too.
Okay.
Look, I think it's a redo of Samuel Tweed and stuff they did with the money, giving the money exchange. They did in the Ministry of Commerce. The Umar, her name, Jimmy would call it, got fired for that because he raised an alarm. Look, there will be no accountability, no check and balances. These guys, the money they should be they giving out, they should have maintained some of the qualified people that they fired, keep them in your jobs instead of giving money to people. You know, so it makes no sense. This is a joke, and this government is all for a joke.
But Francis, do you also see it like money laundering? Because they think it will have no accountability. They will say, okay, it'll be a form of money laundering. They come up with and say, okay,
of course,
we gave for $1 million.
We give $1 million.
No record.
We put in security fund.
What kind of loan? How much it is? You talking about $250? People talking about serious business that costs from $5,000 to $10,000, or be talking about $250. I think that would be the seeding for the loan. Yes. Because you cannot give. So it doesn't make any sense. This is a joke. It's a calculated attempt to cajole the people that the government is interested in the well-being. Of course, they are not. As I said, the money they should have, the money they gave me out.
The guy is not compromising today.
The money they gave me out, they should have maintained some of the professional people who have competence, who work in the government instead of them laying them off to bring their own jokers in.
Francis, before I go to Paul and something, it seems to be very, very harsh today. You're not taking anything for granted today. Tell me what you stand today on. You be one of the sympathizers of the Unity Party government. Today, it seems to be like something's not right.
Going forward, the Unity Party, I'm not a sympathizer of the Unity Party going forward. They are disappointing. They are going after people. They're doing the worst things right now.
Okay, thank you. That's a strong statement. But what do you think? The free interest loan for market women, is that empowerment process or is a political or election bribed? They want to get to the hearts of women, the market women, to win their hearts. So the vice president going around dashing money here and there. We're going to give you money. We don't know the selection process. We don't know how much we're talking about here. So it almost sounds like putting money into the national security void. No control, no accountability. Is that what we're looking at right now, Paul?
Jamal, have you ever heard in this world that anything is free?
Life is not free in there. I know that.
Right. In England, Great Britain as a whole, they tell you the health service, they say NHS is free, but in reality, it's not free. It's being paid for, right? So, if you have money and you depending on foreign donor for survival, and you're going to tell me that you're going to give free loan to people, where are you getting that money from? That's the question.
I like that. Yeah, that's a very good question. And to add to what you're saying, Paul, there's Alfonso Telly just dropped this. This is quite interesting. I just picked up on hundreds of stuff that coming up. It says, let the government come and check on me after I borrowed $15,000 for my cold water business. My address is, look at his address. My address is the Zing Round behind the mosque in Cinco, next to the government toilet.
Auntie Alfonso nailed this.
I think he answered your question. This is one of the best ever you ever drop in. Thank you, Alfonso, for your contribution. Paul, go on.
Auntie Alfonso nailed it.
Paul, go on.
The thing is, Jamal, to be honest, the government tell us that it broke. That's why in their $1.2 billion budget, 75% of that money were coming from their donors, Western donors. So you don't have money, and then you're a backer, and you telling me you're going to give somebody free loan.
Yeah.
Man. It's just, I think the question you asked, whether it's bribe, is actually bribe, is trying to bribe the people for vote. That's where we headed.
What Mr. Dollar call it? You say, Mr. Dollar, what's the term you call it? Was a fiasco, or fiamomo, or what you call it?
The whole thing is a fiasco. You see,
how do you call it? Fiamomo, Liberian term. How do you call it? Fiamomo? Anyway, Paul, go on. We need to go to the last topic. Then, Paul, you got something else?
I think I agree with Pandora. It's just a political gimmick, and it's a fiamomo, or however we name it. It's just a showcase that, oh yeah, we're doing something and not doing anything. That's it.
And this guy also quite interesting point he dropped through. I want to go through that. The government of Liberia or Liberian government lacks the sophisticated and the trained equipment and individual to collect criminal evidence. That was the previous topic he's talking about. This comes from Alfonso Telly. He's saying about the government does not have the
Raw Economic Crime Code.
Topic of the Raw Economic Crime Code. Government has a dismal record of winning cases. Secondly, poverty has given rise to professional jurors who may collect bribe money to throw cases. The whole country is rotten. That's a comment from one of our followers. So thank you, Alfonso. We got a lot of comments. Just a couple of them are going through. Lifo, you got something to read on to or not? Sorry, go on, Mr.
Yeah, okay. There is this one from the C. Alfonso, and this one I'm interested in for one reason.
You read that you were away. We put it up already.
Yeah. Okay. But the reason I want to highlight it again is that we were talking about whether government will give the money or and then they will put check on it to see what's happening. So in Liberia, we don't even have a address system. They ask a man, he said, I live in Fiaman. So when you're going to go look Fiaman for that man, you know when John Brown, somebody say, maybe go behind that brown house, and when you pass the big plum tree, there you go behind the scene, a small scene hall again, you know. So it's just difficult to trace all some of these things. And it goes back again to most of the war crime code thing we're talking about. So let's say you got a very sensitive witness that you sort of contact, then nobody get your contact. If he's even read the Liberia, you can find him there. You go to one town, you go ask the people to tell you, say, go park Bagafoy, you go park Palala, then you start going. So you see, we got a complicated system.
There you go to Fugula.
Difficult.
They go to Fugula, they go to Panda district.
And when you get there, you gotta ask for my mirror. That's a long process.
Yeah, quickly, guys. This is a scheme. This is a scheme to corrupt the system. They want to get the divide money among the partisans, so they say to keep them quiet. Economically, it doesn't make any sense. We student economics. How in the world? What's the rate of return? What are the risk analysis did he do? What did he do all the things? I think money, or you complain about money. You want money, they give free money. It doesn't make no sense. That's what tell la people. You te party partisan. We get your joy. You can't land. I made sure find we divide the money with you instead of just giving money to people.
Francis, fine to know. Fine, not easy to know, my boy. Francis is a higher bidder right now. Francis transfer fee. Transfer fee high. So when you listen to Francis, you got a transfer fee now to get transfer.
But Francis, I've been earmarking you. I earmark you already.
We will discuss that later. Yeah, transfer fee from Francis.
Before you
You
move
go.
on, let me say
Yeah,
something.
go ahead.
Francis, I just want to say on this program, I've really feel your pain, what you're going through. It's hard, you know.
You want to rub? What are you rubbing in there for, Mike? Come on. Let's
Think
move.
I'm having Francis.
Strawberry,
But
this is a bad
on
one.
a serious note, I want to start with Paul. You know, you see, pick that pig. So when they call beauty passion, and they put other people carrying their animal there, pig and baboon, they will still remain baboon. And can I put list on it? So you try, put list on the pig, it will go put a mud in the mud, it goes to the mud. So, Tana.
Yeah, man. The people, my man.
Okay, guys, let's we gotta just to make sure everybody working in time today. We're not gonna go more than we got 1 hour 25 minutes. Next, we'll be leaving for in the next 25 minutes, so we're gonna be wrapping up quickly, guys. I want to appreciate that you guys are taking time to answer the questions in a minute.
To be realistic, Francis knows very well that the element that can constitute crisis in a country is some of this mentality the unity party is employing right now in our country, which is not in the interest of any peaceful citizen of that country. Because do not just be withholding people for no genuine reason. Do not go after people with no genuine, because he will create animosity. And when that happens, at the end of the day, insecurity begins to be visible in a society. So Francis looking at that, Francis seeing it as a former law enforcer, he knows what's the element that can.
All that Francis can see, he can't speak for him now. No, you already make his mind.
But normally I always hate him, but to be realistic,
Francis he's speaking the truth. You know, he's being patriotic here. It's not like
he's seeing the truth. That actually
move ahead now.
Don't focus on Francis. He's not a focus point right now.
I'm not a lawyer. He can speak better than I do. But what I'm trying to say here is, Francis realized that actually what's the element that can constitute problem. He's seen it, and people didn't bring it. Maybe the talking honor cover, Indo, and stay for him.
He'll talk for himself.
All right then. Paul, do you got something to roll for tonight before we go to the last topic tonight?
Yeah, before we go to the last, let's go to the last topic, and then we end up with the rest.
Yeah.
All right then. Anything for international scene then?
Yes. International thing. We'll end up with my good friend Donald Trump.
Okay, but do we have anything on the list there for the situation in Guinea? Because the ECOWAS Parliament.
Yeah, we do.
We do.
Okay.
We're going to reduce it to 2 topics now. The situation in Guinea, we're talking about ECOWAS meeting. So Paul got a video on that. We'll roll it. We got some of the topic we'll be talking about the Liberian-Guinean border issues. It has been discussed at a regional level. So that's on the topic. So we got a video. One of our senators or our representatives were in I don't know what country was it. They were talking about a case. And other foreign.
They were in Nigeria.
In Nigeria, I think Abuja, whatever.
Are you in Ghana?
No, Nigeria.
The ECOWAS Parliament.
It's Nigeria.
It's in Abuja. So what they say that there was some concern raised, and what they want to know what's going on. So we got the video. Paul, you want to roll the video? Or it's not ready?
Let's just go to the video rolling. So
okay, then we have the video from we've been discussing here what's going on at the issue of the Liberian-Guinean border. We have been told that there are quiet or silent diplomacy going on. Liberians are generally concerned. We keep saying that we're not glorifying for Liberia to go against Guinea in terms of fighting or war. What we say, we want to be informed. If anything going on, we should be aware. Then because 33 villages being displaced, a lot of issues going on. People's lives in our area have been disrupted. So that has been a major concern for Liberians around the world. So it's also our concern to discuss it. Now, recently there was some presentation at the ECOWAS Parliament in Abuja. Some representatives or some country representatives spoke about it. So we'll bring that video later on. So don't go away, stay with us. And we'll go to the topic tonight. The last topic before we go to the topic on the Liberian-Guinean border issue, we have May 5th is International Midwife Day. And that's a good thing. And if you look at Liberia, I'll give you some statistics here. Liberia seems to have, I think, according to 1,000 birth or delivery, we have a 600 some more that survive. So Gaba will lose about 300 people every now and then, every birth. So definitely, what we have here got an issue. But the government has come up with because of too many maternal death in our country, maternal death. That means like mother died during childbirth or after childbirth. So it's a serious issue in Liberia. So what they did, the Ministry of I think people responsible for development curriculum, they came up with a special curriculum that will introduce how we can manage these how people will do midwifery study, they will manage to birth cases in Liberia. But then the issue is like I want to bring to my guys, May 5th was International Midwife Day. And the question is right now, I want to bring a question so we can go through. I know not many people here where this medical situation in our country, but the question comes like this. In our country right now, we have an issue of how many midwives does Liberia actually have and where are they deployed? You know, the urban and rural distribution reveals a lot of policy issues. And we also have like Liberia has one of the world's highest maternal mortality rate. That means the mother death, approximately 652 per 100,000 live birth. So we lose about 100,000 birth. We lose about 652. A revives midwife. I'm giving some statistics here from World History, some of the World Health Organization. A revives midwife training curriculum has been introduced, but critics question whether this curriculum reform can address what is fundamentally a system-wide collapse. Because our system, is that curriculum the problem, or is it a problem we are not equipped, or what is the problem? Some of you guys may have had experience. We all grew up in Liberia. We have experience with the midwife issues, nursing, I mean, healthcare delivery in general. What do you think? Give me your tip, your take on the situation.
Let me just come in quickly on that. Yeah, no, just the other morning I was driving to work and was on the news on the radio. Some that in Sweden, the midwives are finding it difficult to practice because of the fewer bribe, with because people get having fewer children, one family, a child or two.
Oh,
So
really?
so it giving those who are in training now, because they're supposed to have like I think 500 or some hours training or so
Yeah,
to
correct.
qualify to go for the to qualify to get the certificates or the lessons. So a country that's Sweden that is struggling with now the birth rate in Africa, we born the guinea pigs, give birth, But the thing is that our system is not equipped. The schools around town, the proliferation of schools, substandard schools, medical midwifery schools.
Yeah.
These are the fundamental problems. You can tailor the curriculum. You can do what the best you can, but our education system is in shambles. It's in the toilet. People are not getting adequate education, they're not being adequately supervised. Just one example, if I'm a midwife and work for a couple of 6 years, I can open my school and then have people. So I mean these kind of professions, it takes years, So again, another aspect of going to hospital, it's another problem. It's so expensive to give birth in Liberia. So people go to the Konosa, old money, and so there are complications with birth. Where sometimes you need C-section, you need kind of stuff, you need to suck the baby out, they can't do it. So there is a whole plethora of issues within our system.
I agree. So just to add to what you're saying, do you know that we have TBA in Liberia, called traditional birth attendants? I've not seen that anywhere in Africa. So these people are trained to look. They look after because of too many older sisters, mothers, where they want to first cater to the pregnant wife or the person in labor before you go to the midwife. So they will be there to support. They call it TBA. So they are not kind of regarded. If you see the most, especially they wear green apron. Have you seen them around? They call it TBA in Liberia. There are a lot of them around. But now what I also noticed, I'll go around. But then you just mentioned something, Francis. It's not the training, it's not the equipment or the stuff, the curriculum. It's the conditions, like the after birth. The real killer is like the after delivery. What happened? How you look after the complications? Are they trained to handle the complications? So we said those complications are the serious problem in Liberia. Are we equipped to handle those things? But now they came up with new curriculum, but we don't have government need to put support into this healthcare delivery system. But I'll give chance to Linford and Mr. Dole and Paul to what your experience of these birth, because look at this, sweetie. Midwives are struggling to practice because they don't have deliveries. They're like, I got too many deliveries. We can't manage it. You see the difference there. But then I'll go to Linford. What do you think? You in Norway, what is the experience in Liberia and compared to that of? I know you showed us some video last in the hospital in Norway. How equipped are they? And we should be dreaming of such thing in Liberia. But now the issue is people attending to our people, our women, our wives, and our sisters in labor. What do you think should be done for them? Linford?
There's a big difference. There's a big difference, between Liberia and whatever. Because my 4 kids, they were all born, of course, in the hospital, and I have to be present in Liberia. My mother, peace be to her, she died November 10 last year. My mother started practicing as traditional midwife from 1977 until her death. And this woman, most of the children that she delivered now have their own grandchildren. So I have a very good experience when it comes to Liberian, midwifery. In the sense that my mom practiced it. Our house, one whole side was for her, and stuff like that. So you will see that most of the deliveries that are done in Liberia are done mostly in the interior without any medical participation, meaning that trained midwives from the hospitals will not be there, because my mom did not go to school, but she learned these things somehow. And I remember some time ago, she went to Phoebe Hospital to teach other traditional midwives. Okay, now, but I understand that it's now abolished. The government has abolished that. It was a weird government.
TBA is still there. Traditional birth attendant is still there.
Yeah, but they said they abolished it because
they changed it to a different form now. Yeah, you're right. Go on.
Yeah. So if my mom was still alive, she couldn't deliver any woman. She can only attend them. Time for them to deliver, she can send them to a hospital. But the question here is, the government is revising the curriculum, right? But how many midwives do we have all over the country? Apart from because somewhere, even though the government has abolished this thing, but somewhere in the interior, far away, where there's no road, no access to hospital, clinic, nothing, and the woman is pregnant. Okay, so how does she give birth? And when you talk about the infant mortality, I'm a victim. My elder daughter, who should have been, she was born in 1985, so she should have been maybe 41 years by now. Okay, she died of childbirth at the time I was in the UK in 2009. She had given birth to her child somewhere in Monrovia, in somewhere at Konosai, like Francis was saying, somewhere in the Konosai instead of the hospital, and there were complications, and she died. 1 month later, the baby died too. So you see, I'm a direct victim, and then I have this experience where my mom was also practicing midwifery. So I know that the situation in Liberia is even more than just revising the curriculum. You have to, first of all, be able to deploy these midwives to clinics across the country. But then how do you do that in the absence of money? Here we have the healthcare delivery system. Last year, we played some information on this particular platform in Kakata where people were dividing healthcare funds. Okay, so the system is complicated. We do not have the money already. Then the training is not there. The facility is not there. So it's a lot of things. So I think it's a good step when the government says they want to revise the curriculum. But where was that curriculum before they revising it? That's the first question. Was it inexistent, or is it something new they bringing? And how how soon will that system enter the rest of the country? Is it going to be centered around Monrovia, like we see everything just around the Monrovia area? So it's a lot of things to think about. But I think the idea is good.
Right. Okay. So, Paul, then Mr. Dollar.
Well, Jamal, I will pick up from what Francis said with adequate training, which is quite important. Because you see, if they are going to go back to the free loan, we don't have clinics around the country in a rural area. And then we have money to give out free loan to people. Think on it. We need to have clinics all around the country with trained professional midwifery in those clinics. We don't have it. So we have not prioritized that yet. So all of these things are problems. So you look at it. In my own family, with the other one that Linford talked about, I had two experiences. My sister, the one I'm next to, she died from childbirth. And just 3 years ago, my cousin also died right in Monrovia in the hospital called Hope Hospital, the former health minister hospital, right in Monrovia. So it just tells you if people lack of training, things can happen. Then think about those in the rural part of the country that don't have training. They just based on what they learned from the generation before them. So we need a river. You know, when women are pregnant, one of the first things, if they go to a clinic, the clinic guide them through all the process. They'll pick up things that midwife in a bush will not pick up. That's why in the UK, they call it the antenatal clinic, where they give advice, they teach you what you should do, what you should watch for. They breach of children, all those things that they pick it up in the early stage. Then they will send you hospital, say, no, we can't, that person cannot give birth here. So all of those trainings need to be put in place. Until that happens, I think it'll be a good thing that the government need to invest heavily, more money into that part, into the health sector. I think it will be a good thing if they invest heavily and train more nurses in those areas. That's my take on it.
Okay. Mr. Dollar, what do you think? The birth issues, people got too many mothers dying after childbirth or after doing the birth or on the labor bed. So what do you think we can do? They just came up with a new curriculum in the school to change the system. Is that what we need, or we need to see how we can handle those complications instead of looking into the? Of course, it's good to look into the curriculum, but what about the complications? We need trained people to handle the complication. If you listen to people who spoke across the platform now, they are saying most people, we are victim of. We lost people to delivery right on the bed after delivery because of complication. It could have been handled. Women, God's people believe in that it could be God's, God, the reason God wanted it to happen. But then there should be some way to prevent it. But what do you think? You being one of the oldest person around, and you may have experienced something. What do you think Liberian can do to solve this problem? So to save most of our sisters and mothers' lives.
Yeah, thank you. Quite recently, I nearly lost my daughter. Now, even 6 months ago, we have to spend enough money to buy, because she bleed a lot, because the way we handled the situation, it was very, very chaotic. So because of lack of proper training of the midwives and things, then, and situation can become horrible in terms of that. So for this reason, what the government need to do, like what Paul just said, we need to give priority to the appropriate issue instead of going to do something just for political propaganda, all the kind of thing. So what the government really need to do, healthcare system is the paramount for every civilized society. But some of these people that are in the powers, take too much advantage over our citizens in our country. And the funny part again is those that you and I are talking for, because for me, if even my hair right now, I can just call Nana out. Ambulance will come and pick me up and take me home and treat me and whatever, and then give me proper something treatment. But those people by whom don't have that facility, they're supposed to hold their lawmakers or their leaders feet to fight to make sure to look after this thing there. They say giving them ingredients to appropriate the little phone that they are entitled to. You know what is happening right now? You come and tell people that we will give free room to people in this and that and rest of it. These are fiasco decisions. And so what I can say here is let the government please go back. Let them focus on the really necessary thing that need to be handled. Something like healthcare system needs to be handled. The road network need to be handled. Electricity need to be handled, because even if you have a hospital, if there's no electricity, the equipment will not be able to function effectively. All these things is very, very essential. Look at what's happening now in Liberia, more especially Monrovia. When a left can today, it take about 3 4 5 days to go on left can again. All these things there
I mean, we say everything, even the representatives, all the government officials, instead of them allocating the money to the budget, or they buy mobile clinic, they have to go vote, just put the vote to it. It make any sense? Is there any serious country, any serious kind of people will do that? Who does that? Instead, you putting the money into the system, you have a trickle down effect on the people. You buy mobile clinic, just for you, just for you to be re-elected.
Yeah.
And they're getting all the money. Instead of putting money in the budget, they allocate money to themselves.
Yeah, it's a sad story for us in Liberia, very sad indeed. I want to say thank you very much. We've just gone through our topic. We're going to go over to Paul to look at the international highlight and whatever other trending issues are coming from Liberia. So, Paul, over to you.
Yeah, before we go to the international something, can I ask you one simple question here to Paul?
Go on.
Yeah, Mr. Chloe, can you please really tell me what actually led to the acquittal of Mr. Torres? They acquitted him.
How will you know that the man not in the court?
I wish I was in the court, and I wish I was a lawyer to understand. I don't have. I know Linford touched on it about the thing is 6 and 7. It just merry-go-round, because Samuel Twe helped somebody in the Unity Party government today. That person also will help Samuel Twe to get out. So when CDC come back to power, they will stop. They will not prosecute somebody that helped somebody. So that merry-go-round. So just forget it. That's Liberia's story. It never ends until that merry-go-round stop. When serious minded people take over and start going after the chronic thieves, then we'll start speaking. But now it's not going to happen. I cannot be president of Liberia and don't spend heavily to investigate people that Nathaniel McGee, that was they put sanction on them. Bill Tuare, they all sitting down. They are lawmakers. I'm going to be in government. I will go to the U.S. government to tell me the file that they have on these people so I can trace the money they got. But until we become serious, we're going nowhere. But that's what I'm saying.
Guys, we don't have that much time anymore. Can we transition, please? We'll take another question. Go ahead. Boys, over to you on the international.
Thank you, Jamal. Before we get to the international thing, we a little bit escape on the ECOWAS Parliament.
Oh, yeah.
So we can roll that then. So this is the issue. We brought it on the every time we come on the bottom line, we talk about the situation at the Liberia-Guinea border. The reason being the government of Liberia refused to tell us what the hell is happening. They not talking to us. We wouldn't speculating that the diplomacy happening everywhere. So this guy from ECOWAS Parliament spoke. I think the ECOWAS, the Liberian leaders that represent Liberia at the ECOWAS Parliament were there, but this guy questioned them. So let's listen to this, and I know Linford will be happy to talk on this topic.
At war
I'm rolling the tape.
Given the issues between Liberia and Guinea, everybody condemned, including this parliament. We issued a statement, and Liberia will come here and tell all stories and not mention it. There's no respect, no regard for the issues that have put our hearts on the line. We need to know what has happened. And if in the process of trying to find out the truth about the situation, a lawmaker spoke about it. The world is not a global village. What I'm saying here now, somebody in Canada will hear me in the next 2 seconds. If a member of parliament to couple up and say, this is a true position, that he believes that these territories belong to Guinea, what Liberia could do would be to spare the man from parliament. And we are here presenting a report. I don't know what the court Liberia has presented. I need to know what can happen. What is it that made them to withdraw? What is it that made them to expel somebody who was attempting to tell it? If we are not prepared to tell the truth and live by it, we better shut down what we are calling democracy and define it in our own languages and follow through. Thank you very much.
Merci, chers collègues, pour
at war by today.
Gentlemen,
Given the issues between
Linford, we've been sinking some on this platform, and I've been one of the persons being very critical of the government, but not seeing anything to us. This situation, you see, the Liberia delegate that represent Liberia at the ECOWAS Parliament, they went, they spoke, and it left that issue out. So this Nigerian parliamentarian is questioning them.
The guy is actually from Ghana.
Yes, yeah, but I mean, it was at ECOWAS, but so this guy is questioning them.
When you're Nigerian.
Exactly.
Okay.
He's a Nigerian. Yeah, he's questioning them.
It's a
So
Nigerian.
we've been seeing it over and over. There is silent diplomacy that is going on that even ECOWAS is not aware of. My brothers, what's going on? So where are we heading? This guy making salient point here, and we don't know what is happening. So, Pandora, I will start with you, Francis, and then Linford. When Jamal come back, he'll close on it.
Yeah, you see what happened at this here is the reality is always a reality. You see, when you are a government, you are a servant to your nation. That is the people that you govern them, you are a servant to them. But one thing that I do know, our governments, more especially African governments, majority of them are servants. They're serving themselves, they're not serving the public. I was very surprised last night when I saw on Spoon Network that Snow was doing his responsibility as the head of the ECOWAS, our delegation to the ECOWAS parliamentarian.
And Paul, okay, sorry, Pandora. Paul, you want me to roll a video about Snow? It's very short, then we can, it's good that Pandora mentioned it.
Okay. Then
then
Pandora will conclude on it.
Yeah.
And Portuguese.
But let me ask you a question. Thank you very much, Senator Snow, though. Let's talk about you. I believe you are the senior ranking parliament members, right? Why couldn't you edit the report? Why couldn't you include? Why couldn't you make any suggestion about the border issue and that of the Yeket issue? Why couldn't you?
So, Stanton, there are two issues here that we must talk about. Unfortunately, we are in a political dispensation that every critical issue in the country becomes offensive to the government. Everything, once you're critical, even even if it's for their own good. Once you're critical, it becomes offensive. Now, don't forget, let's go back one. When we reported in the ECOWAS Parliament on the situation in the House of Representatives during the issue of Furanti Kofa, it was a crime. The whole government machinery, Ministry of Information as usual, they mounted a platform and they went after Edwin Snow and not even the delegation. They act like Edwin Snow is the only member of the delegation. They came after me. When we reported on the usage of the presidential lounge at the airport with former President George Weah, it became offensive. It became a crime to the government. Now, I didn't have any problem with the issue of the border not being in the report because the government have not given us a clear position on this border. So Edwin Snow, now as head of delegation, had read a report yesterday and speak of the border. Whatever I have said that is not in line with the Unity Party government, it would have been a crime. So I'm happy that
no. I'm not saying you should have spoken on it yesterday while reading it. My question: you had the time to go over the report that Ben Fofana from the Finance Ministry, right?
Ben Roberts
from the Finance Ministry, the ECOWAS technician, compiled. My question to you: why couldn't you tell your team, Alex Tado, Reverend Anders, Tawongbe, Mama Bishmensa, we are missing two very important things here. We must include it before I read this. Why couldn't you?
No, Senator, I don't have any regret now doing that. It was up to them as well. Now let me for full background. Okay, for full disclosure, Senator Tyler wasn't well, so he had to do his medical. He wasn't here. He's not here. So I won't include him in this because he's not on the, even though he's part of the chat room and he saw the report, but he's not on the ground. So let me just say that first. The four of us that were here, everybody read the report. Anybody who had made that input. Stanton, you know what, Stanton? I said on a talk show in Liberia the other day that when people are prevented from talking and when everything you say in the country becomes offensive, people will stop talking. And when people stop talking, it's like when you're home, when you tell your parents, oh, daddy, can we do this? And everything becomes offensive, the child will stop talking. Or even in a relationship. I think you even said on your radio, on your show last night. So everything, those sentences, there have been a time where the government of Liberia have made representation to ECOWAS, so we're dropping from the ECOWAS parliament.
Right. Paul?
Yeah.
The gentleman's excuse is a lazy argument. Very, very lazy argument. He's the electors.
But what will you say is a lazy argument? He just said that the government have not informed them on what the issue. So what will you say is a lazy argument?
Yeah, I will give my reason now. When I say the main argument is a lazy argument, is this. This is the man is an elected, bona fide elected senator of a county. And the place where he is, they have right to summon defense ministers, justice ministers, national security directors, to tell them, actually, if the president is not briefing them, to tell them actually what is really going on to the border. Have them ever asked the defense minister or the chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia and the national security director or minister of justice to come before them to tell them little bit about this border issue? Have they done it? He have the capacity. He's an elected somebody. They have a right to summon these people. They have done it? He have not. So how will you know? The president has keep quiet. Everybody see it.
But Daddy, I have to hold you there. The reason being, Amara Kone, who spoke of this government attitude, why they decided to go after him. Yeke Koloba, who spoke, they remove him. So why will you think Edwin Snow now?
Yeah, listen to me. If I say Amara said it and they go after him, if those are elected person, even Amara, let them go after him. Let us see whether they will remove him from that position. Great. You understand what I'm saying? You know what happened? The Daha government came forward.
We don't have much time. Paul, you know what
Yeah.
we're talking.
Yeah, that's
We have
yeah.
got like guys. Just to remind, got 5 more minutes, or else we're gonna be.
Yeah, so
less
Pandora,
than 5
you
minutes.
let them move on to Francis quickly, then leave for them.
No, that's my point on this, gentleman.
All right, thank you, Pandora. Francis.
Look, first, the government was in error, and them just in the guy who spoke, it was a tit for tat. He resented on incident board a couple of months ago in the ECOWAS Parliament about Nigeria and the border crisis. I think that the adoption of children, he did not include it in the Liberian delegate attack and pointed it out. So he came out to attack, he was just waiting for that. And apparently he read the report, he did not see it there, so he had to bring it out. So it was, according to what the boy named Tar Womble, the interview on the radio. He saw it, as a matter of fact. Tar said he saw the report and he raised a flag that the report did not contain Yeke's expulsion and the Guinea stuff, but they couldn't do anything because once the government has their own report. But ECOWAS Parliament, it's like you be saying your own report you gave it, and for people to go read. He got what he was with the ECOWAS Parliament, so that's a predicament they were in. They raised it, but they could not inject it into the to speak about it because it's not in the original document that they sent. But they said according going forward, they will have to be very meticulous now in the report. They won't just say anybody get a report there go and start running and read. They have to edit it and have an input, so that's a new agreement they have. So but that's answer your question. I want to take most of the time. It's unfortunate that the government did not raise the case issue because we have brought credibility issue, the rule of law, adherence, democracy, and you name it. So yeah, sometimes it's politics. You try to hide the side, want to make your government look good out there. And when the government, I don't know, I can't say much about it. The border issue is long overdue. It's becoming an existential threat to the country, and the government itself is posing as an existential threat to the country. So yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Linford, thank you, ma.
Okay, quickly, let me say that a few things we got to look at from Edwin Snow's side. He being the head of the delegation. Number one, you heard what he said. Every issue that is very sensitive about this government, when you raise it, it becomes problem. You become the target. And Yage Kolba is a victim right now. Okay. So Edwin Snow, you should remember that he has been expelled before. He was speaker before, and you were expelled. So he knows what can happen.
He was not expelled. He only removed from speakership.
Yeah, he was removed from his speakership. Sorry. So he knows what can happen. And in that house, if your party does not have the majority, no matter how you fight your case, the majority will win. We saw it with Councillor Kofa. So Edwin Snow is afraid to be expelled. Maybe this time, first we were speaker to remove him, but this one it could be expulsion because he sees what they are trying to do to his colleague, Senator Amara Kone. They are behind him and what they have done. So he tried to play safe. And number two, the main point he made was that the government at home, you and I, who at least hoping to hear what really happened at the border, what led the Guineans to come. I know the Guineans are stone crazy to say one morning they just collect platoon and say, let's go to the border. No, something happened. But our government does not want to tell us. Okay, so we all are feeding on misinformation in windows. Okay, so if Edwin Snow went there and that thing did not contain in the report, and then they verbally say it there, or maybe try to add it there, and the Liberian government say, but we did not add it there, something could backfire home again.
Yeah.
So that's why you're very careful. So I just want to deep on the point that Pandora made that Edwin Snow or Dawson responsibility. No, he clearly said it. He doesn't want to be the one to speak for the government when the government are not containing the report. So you're trying to be careful, probably to protect the government too.
Yeah, but you have a right to summon those that are responsible to give
Okay,
them.
Pandora. So
Okay, yeah, we know
People
that,
think
right?
they screen. They were even called. The defense minister were called. All the police were called to the Senate. They didn't say anything. The justice minister, they all were called to the Senate.
They all been there. They didn't say nothing. So what
okay,
you do?
guys, we got a few minutes. We got a minute left. Jamal, this border issue, the
No,
government
I'm
has
okay.
been-
I'm okay because of time factor. I'm okay with that now, so we can move on, please. I think my colleague spoke on what I've said, so it's all right for me.
Okay, so let's close on this. I just wanted to say it was a very good show, and Linford, quickly recognize few people so we can close the show because other people have joined. If you can recognize them quickly.
Let's recognize Joylene Totiman. She was here last week, and she said again, thank you for coming. And my little brother, Marshall Omingoe, and the rest of the people who were there before they stayed there, or they are, at least their names are here still. Okay. So we hope that you will be here on the next edition tomorrow. Saturday will be a different type of program, but on the same platform, so you can join us as well. And it's called Your Story.
That's it. So, guys, let's close this show. I think we'll talk about what's happening in the world next time because we don't have the luxury of time now. So, Jamal, back to you.
That's the bottom line. Liberia work came here tonight not to give you comfort, but to give you the clarity. The questions we raised don't have easy answers. Anyone who tells you otherwise is selling you something. Liberia's story is not tragedy waiting to be skewed. It is a nation of people who have survived what most of the world cannot imagine, and who deserved leadership, institutions, and honest conversations equal to that strength. We keep you asking the hard questions because silence is how impunity serves. Share this stream to bring someone into the conversation tomorrow. We'll be here tomorrow as well on the news story, Your Story. That's the bottom line. It's a Liberian deserve better. Bottom line tomorrow will be on live. Please join tomorrow on Your Story as well. On Sunday, we'll be having the audience with Lord Choloplay. Be part of the show always. Make sure you subscribe. I want to say a big thank you to my colleagues, Francis Monomensa from Sweden, and Paul DeLorge from London. Mr. Jacob Morris Dollar from Manchester as well. We are not forgetting our good friend from the Royal Kingdom of Norway. That's my man, Link for Egon Gray. My name is Jamal Kaman. We say have a pleasant weekend. Thank you very much and have a pleasant good night.